you. Good afternoon, Gwen.
Hi, Annie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you in this super full moon?
I mean, apart from not sleeping, or no, what's happening? I'm going to sleep later, but sleeping really well. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
on for me this time, definitely.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I've had reports of meltdowns and I've had my own mini meltdown. So there's been a lot of very emotional and energy for the last few days.
Right.
Old stuff, really, childhood old stuff. So
I think emotionally, mine's been sort of the opposite. I've been hearing lots of good news and lifting stuff. So, but yeah, very emotional stuff,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going first.
I am.
I'll stop playing with my cards and I'll listen.
Right, I brought out the Priestess of Light this
Oh,
time.
I nearly got mine.
Yeah, she she was just crying out. I haven't brought them out for ages, so I
Yeah.
thought I'd use those. And I've also brought my Nature's Whispers as well.
Oh, lovely.
I haven't used those for a while, so I think it was
Yeah.
the new beginnings that made
And
me
I
start.
apologize in advance because I've got a dog who's looking at me with a very guilty expression on his face.
Oh, what's each gone?
He's
Bubble trouble.
desperate to find something to chew and to mess with. And I'm trying to get him to be quiet. And I've also got the cat, of course,
Of
who's
course.
decided she'll wander in.
Oh,
Oh, but we wouldn't be witches without our cats, would we?
we wouldn't. Okay, for some reason I've actually pulled 7 this time. Okay.
Okay, must be needed.
Right. So so we've got this lady here, the Divine Mother, and of course we're now gone from autumn equinox, so we're going into from Mother. So this is more like Mother into Crone, and it is all about nurturing your compassion. I mean, this time of the year we're looking at the harvest time as well, so it's about reaping all the good things from the year, and making sure you're looking after yourself. And so if you've got, you can either call it a halo, but I think because we're doing the full moon, it is the full moon energy behind her as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and the purple's there, this third eye, looking spiritually outwards at what you're wanting within. And yeah, so a nice card about nurturing, and that's yourself. Then again, we have this card, beautiful, and this is the go with the flow card. So that is about letting go of everything that's been in the past, but bringing forward all the positives that you've reaped from that, making sure that you're then cleansing yourself so that you can plant those seeds now, can't you?
Yeah.
We're going into darkness, so plant those seeds so you're ready to receive come the springtime. She's got a shell on her head there, like a snail shell, but it's also the fossilized. And I said, I think it's saying is that, when I look at fossils, they must hold so much wisdom. They've been there for thousands of years. So with this being on her head, it's like maintaining your wisdom. Don't let go of your wisdom. Maintain your wisdom, because that's what will bring you forward. She's also got the lovely blue light just going around her in her aura. So that is all about the communication. And I do think it's more like talking to yourself, and be ready to receive anything that's coming for you. Yeah, but the wisdom needs to be maintained. Then we've got the eternal connection. It's the twin flames. Two beautiful ladies there with the beautiful tiger, the proud standing tiger. And I think this is all about, again, it's this wisdom that you hold, and it's that eternal connection that you need to keep hold of. And knowing that you know, there is this twin flame energy, you know, where I feel two becomes one, and it's remembering to embrace that two becomes one as well. The tiger is standing in between them, so therefore I do feel that is about remembering that, you know, this two becomes one, remembering that, you know, the animal guides are always with you, and their wisdom, their power is the one to embrace, you know, because you know, when you look at animals, they're so loyal.
Yeah.
You know, they're loyal within their pack. They're loyal as pets. You know, got lovely cats there. You got your dog Bubble as well, and they are so loyal. And they only ask for this nurturing compassion. Oh, that was the first card, wasn't it? You know, that's all your pets ask for, is this nurturing compassion. So again, bring the energies together, make them one, and move it forward. We've then gone on to the higher ground here.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah. I've got a house full of roses at the moment.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's about the higher self, looking down and appreciating what you have. I mean, there's another little bud on here, and so that's showing, you know, we're ready to seed at this time, you know, to blossom. Excuse me. And it's a very childlike energy in this card. So again, I think you're talking about inner self, your inner child, you know, the joy that that you have as a child, you know, that joy that you need to nurture inside you to bring yourself forward. And I say there is the bud there as well, so it is the time to sort of wait for your blossom, and but remember your higher self as well as your higher beings, and have this. I love this card because it's a beautiful tree, where there's so much in that tree. And this is the assurance card. And within the tree, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. You can hardly see them unless you really study the pictures. There's 4 lovely elemental
I
energies.
can see them. Yes, beautiful.
And one is, I feel she's putting her hand in a vessel, and she's ready to plant those seeds. And so we've got the winter there as well, and this is the exact time to do it. There's the hope, there's the blossom on the tree, there's the fruit on the tree, and there is the seeding of the fruits. What I'm getting from this is this will be the transformation that's going to be happening next year. I think in the next fortnight, we need to gather our crops. We need to gather our thoughts. We need to reflect on what's been happening. And then I don't think there's big planning going on, but it's maybe if people just write down their aspirations for next year, but do them in small chunks rather than the big picture. And a little bit at a time, plant those little seeds, because they will grow. And yeah, I mean, I do like this card because there is a lot going on in this card.
Yes.
And this is the taking a decision card. And whenever this card comes out, I always feel, you know, it's about making the decisions. Okay. And it's not only about your decisions, it's about the decisions you're going to emanate to others, suggestions, the wise words, And in here, we got the animal kingdom, and we've got a lot to do with nature. And in her wings is a lot of past life energy. Again, it's embracing any positives that are coming out from your past life experiences. Because again, when we go back to the fossil shell, the ammonites, that's where the wisdom is. It's past life wisdom that you need to bring forward, and for you to flourish. I mean, her wings are beautiful.
Oh, yes, stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this next fortnight before the next new moon, I think it's the time to sit, relax, and start writing down about those seeds that you want to plant. It really is a time for growth. And I say I did pull another card, and it makes sense now. This is the winter card. Well, I always call it the winter card. But there she is on her swing, and it is maintain your childlike spirit. And I think it's saying, there are some decisions to be made. They may be very hard decisions, but they can turn decisions into positives, because they are the each of the paths leading off this picture have got bright lights. And I think that's what it's all about. Bring in the joy. Make those decisions based on the positive things that are happening to you and around you. And I mean, she's on a beautiful swing. So again, we had to go with the flow, and I think it's all about that. Okay, nobody really likes the dark nights, the dark days, but it is a time to sit and reflect, and it is time to just start hibernating and nurturing all those things that are going to be happening. Sleep and slumber I've just got. So sleep and slumber. It's all about decision making at the moment. Definitely. Okay.
So I was drawn to the psychic. Oh, let me get it in the picture. The Psychic Tarot of the Heart. It's by John Holland. I love his Psychic Tarot. It always works really well for me. But the moon was kind of pushing me to the emotional set of cards, this heart one that he uses. And I do feel that kind of over the next week or so, we might find ourselves having mini meltdowns, stuff that's surfacing. It's interesting that you've gone back to childlike, because one of the things I think we forget is the emotions of childhood, that the darker, lower emotions that have got locked in, and maybe we were not in a position to process when we were a child. So I do feel like this supermoon is pushing those to the surface, because those emotions are our barriers, our limitations, our inhibitions. And I agree with you, there's a lot of past life energy, what we set up for our childhood that leads us to our adult decisions is influenced by that past life karma. So I do have this sense that what we might be looking at while we're in the waning phase of the moon is really sort of clarifying. We don't need to be limited anymore. So let's get a few cards out and just see if my sense of the energy is correct. Oh, now they're coming out in pairs. It's like they don't want to come out sort of separately, so to speak, which again, because of course what's happened for the last 11 years, of course, is we've had this big blast of divine feminine. And to me, these last few months of the supermoon, these big, bright lights in the sky, has been to say to us, feminine, divine feminine, boost the divine feminine, help the divine masculine to step back enough to embrace the divine feminine. So it's been fascinating, really. So my first card, My first card is sacral chakra.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we're working over the next couple of weeks on that sense of I am.
Yeah.
A united I am. I agree with you. The inner work is going on. Now we're going into that more fallow period of we've gone into the autumn. We're starting to prep to look at our resources for winter.
Yeah.
And looking inwards at, you know, what's going on for me. What do I feel I've achieved? What haven't I achieved? What is it that I want to lead with next spring? But not in a very, not in a rigid way. This is
No.
fluid. This is
Yeah.
about letting the little inspirations and ideas come in. Maybe not even making decisions yet, unless there's a decision that's absolutely, yes, I know what I want to do.
And I think the decisions around the letting go as well.
Yeah. I love this card. The next card that's come with the sacral chakra is observe.
Okay.
And for me, this card always makes me pause because she's looking from all different angles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, when we do our inner work, we need to look at our life from all different angles. And in fact, she's got different coloured cloaks on. So
Yes.
she's stepping into looking at life from a physical, a mental, emotional, and a spiritual perspective, and blending it all together and trying to connect the rainbows on there, of course, which always to me signifies higher consciousness. And here at the bottom, we've got the light shining through. And it's from solar plexus, which is our spiritual connection.
Yeah.
So it's asking us to look at ourselves and be able to see all of our aspects. And therefore, that gives us an opportunity to see all of our opportunities. Our options are not limited, even though we may feel a sense of limit in some way. This is observe where those boundaries seem to sit, to really grasp the I am work that needs to be done over the winter. Again, another of my favorite cards, the Shine card. We are on this journey. I mean, she's beaming from her heart, this beautiful, beautiful connection of light. We are on our journey to connect with everything in us and connect with everything without us, outside of us, to recognize it's all unity, it's all one flow of energy, really. So I love the number on this card because it's 19. The number on the observe was 12, and I just mentioned 2012. The number on this card is 19. And for me, that's the perfect expression of numerology, because you're going from 1, new beginnings, to 9, endings. So what we can do if we recognize we've got new beginnings, but we need to do the endings first, is it enables us to increase our light, our love, for ourselves and for others, and all those beautiful colours.
Yeah.
I always feel like this is a card that reminds us we've got guides.
Yes.
That we've got these beautiful beings circling us, just ready at the high vibration to give us, because that's what's happening. She's being lifted up.
Yeah.
So remembering as well, whatever reflection or work we're doing inwardly, we've got the loved ones, we've got the guides there to help us. Here we go. Believe and succeed. Of course, it's always difficult when you're sailing ahead in what may feel like uncharted water. And for this card, I feel it's about our emotions. Who knows what I'm going to feel in an hour's time? Who knows what I'm going to feel in a week? It's unknown. And what I've got to do is put my trust in me and still sail forward.
And
That will,
shine. Yeah.
that will get me where I want to go. The other thing I love about this is the number 6 on this card, because it's telling me, you know, I can be doubly creative. I can go forward knowing that I've got the resources within me, the inspirations within me to change course if I have to, but I can follow that inner guidance and get to wherever. And there's a beautiful light on the horizon that I'm headed for. And again, I think I want to tie that back to the shine card. Maybe I'm journeying to the fullest, most possible best me.
Well, Annie, can I just say, on the camera, that card looks like, the purple card, looks like
Yeah.
a plane taking off.
Oh, does it? Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, fabulous,
Fantastic.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, again, that upward movement,
yeah,
that
yeah.
forward momentum. Oh, right. Okay, here we are. Card number 8, which is control. Now, I want to say that here we are, kind of dressed for a journey. We've got our wings of power draped around us. We've got our what's it called? Oh, anyway, we've got our locket or our
Formula, yeah.
yeah, we've got our diadem, our jewel. We've got that power symbol, that status, and what we've also got behind us is the eyes of the guides.
Mm.
Now, one of the things about the 8 is the archangel number.
Yes.
But I also want to say we're invoking our own angel nature.
Okay.
So the next few weeks, we can, first of all, rise above it because we can spread our wings and fly. We can remember we are a jewel.
Mm.
We can remember that we've been given power that we can use, and it's up to us. And it's about how we control the power, not control others, not control ourselves, but whether we, in connection with our guides, can use that powerful connection to stay on course.
It's that balance again, isn't it?
I think this is all about, we will wobble because waning moon always makes us wobble. This is the last super moon, thank goodness, but it's a wobbly one, yeah. We can control our reaction. We can decide to take it as a positive rather than as a negative. We've got the choice, and for me, control comes with knowing you've got the choice. So we're back to, we've got loads of options. It's us tuning into our heart center, tuning into our I am, that leads us to the best possible choice. So, okay. There is a little bit of a sting in the tail slightly. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
It's feeling alone. Okay, there's a beautiful full moon there. She's got a little light by her side, but she's sitting away from everything and everyone. There's a little house that she's got the light in her hand to guide her. But she's in this stage of journeying alone. And although there's a house there, there's a destination, it may still feel like it's a long way away. She's on the opposite side of the river. So to me, what that's telling us over the next couple of weeks, we have to cross the river of emotions. We have to keep shining bravely and brightly. We've got the blessing of the divine feminine. That's why the full moon's in the sky. And we will reach home, sanctuary, security. It's going to feel strange. It's going to feel like nobody gets it, or I'm totally on my own. But it's reminding ourselves we have a destination. we're not alone. That light is not the only one. So while we're doing the releasing, it's holding on to the sense of getting back to the connection.
Yeah. And that's like that assurance card, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's the number 5 card, which is right in the middle of the progression in numerology. So it's often,
That's 1 and 4. It's 14.
Yeah. It's often the card where we know we've got to leave the past bit, or the number where we know we've got to leave the past behind, and we know we've got to reach out to the future, but it's a little bit turbulent.
Well, it's a super full moon. That's exactly its definition, isn't it, Annie? Definitely.
Now, I ended up with 7 cards too, because one dropped out. Right. This is, again, just a little signal. It's the helpless and hopeless. It actually comes, it's got his like, if you look at the steps, they look like wings around him. Yeah, it looks sort of an optical illusion, like there's wings. And this card, helpless and hopeless, is looking at the sun. And actually, I'm reminded of the Sycamore Gap in Hadrian's Wall, where the tree's just been cut down. What do? A fixed point has gone. I've got nothing.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
And he's got like mountains either side of him. What he's got is the sun. Now, the sun is the male energy. And I want to say that over the next couple of weeks, our own masculine energy may make us feel, or may surface feelings of hopeless and helpless.
Okay.
The divine masculine is having to give ground to the divine feminine. It has to, because we're moving the balance point. So over the next couple of weeks, it's just a reminder that the sun still rises, the masculine is still there. It doesn't need to be helpless and hopeless, but actually it's interesting because it's an opportunity for our divine masculine energy to explore vulnerability. In our world, the masculine energy is always strong, practical, get it done, but that isn't the whole of that energy. The divine masculine, is often on show as a vulnerability, except we cover it up. I'm just thinking about men who watch their partners, their loved ones give birth, are often traumatized because they're vulnerable. There's nothing they can do, and they want to do things. Men who watch parents die or family members die, again, there's nothing they can do to stop the inevitable, and it makes for vulnerability. And what the supermoon is pulling out of the divine masculine is the vulnerable side. That sense of it is inevitable. There is nothing I can do. No point hoping. I'm helpless here. What I want to say is it comes with the number 8. So it's an archangel card. So it's reminding us that even though we may feel vulnerable, in that vulnerability is our greatest strength. Because then we can feel compassion for others.
And grace, we've had the grace card come out as well.
Yeah, we can remember that we are not alone. We can remember that every human being at some point faces feeling vulnerable, and that what we do is we love and support each other. We reach out. So this is a card to remind people to reach out, not to be vulnerable and suffer in silence. Would you understand me?
And the first thing that I saw when you put that card up was the steps and the mountains, and that song "Climb Every Mountain." Because the words of that song is that reason to muscle through, and that hope is the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm getting the Annie song, The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. Yeah.
Lovely.
So even though that energy is there in the waning moon, it's to help us to process the impact of the full moon and really embrace that we are strongest actually when we're under the deepest of stress. we tend to rise. Yeah.
Higher ground. You had rising cards. I had the higher ground.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is that feeling. Just go, with that flow of your higher self.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
remember, as you've said, your guides are there. All you've got to do is ask.
Yeah. If you can't ask the human being next to you, ask your guide. Ask your loved ones in spirit. They will definitely jump in. They just wait for permission. They have to.
That card you've got with the lady with the light coming out.
Yeah.
I saw her being lifted by her spirit guides.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yes. Absolutely. So, going to be an interesting 2 weeks.
It is, definitely. And I think we've both had two very separate messages for people. Is, about the emotions. You're talking about the emotions. And certainly from here, it's about, but everything's okay. Just go with the flow, all on your guides, and you get through this harvesting, definitely.
Yeah.
It'll be planted.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, Gwen. I've really enjoyed that. And 2 weeks' time we'll be back. We'll be back for the full moon. Not the full moon, the new moon.
New moon energy.
She doesn't want to let go yet.
Remember, I'm here for a fortnight, she's saying.
Yeah. Lovely as always to talk to you, Gwen.
Yeah, and you, Annie.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, and you.
Bye. Okay, bye. Bye.